Welcome back to another video. Today we're just going to go over escrow so you can understand what it means, what escrow means. You may see a video on YouTube, you may have heard about it, as well as you may already know. This is from me going over escrow, right? So my name is Tianna Thompson. I'm a realtor with Real Broker LLC here in Florida. You can send me an email so I can get you started on buying your dream property at sunshinehospfl@gmail.com or visit my website, sunshine.com, to block a discovery call or look to see if we can find you a property. All right. So what is escrow? Escrow is essentially it's a neutral third-party agreement where funds, documents, or assets are held until all conditions of a real estate transaction are fulfilled, right? Typically, the escrow agent, the agent that takes care of these funds or documents or assets that are held, whether it's from the seller or the buyer, the agent that does that, it could be a title company, or it can be an attorney, right? So, in some cases, a buyer may, in good faith, put an offer into a seller and say, okay, I'm serious about buying this property. I'm looking to get funding for it. I'd like to put $1,000 down in good faith to show you that I'm serious so that they can start and get on a contract. If the seller agrees, that $1,000 payment is sent over to the escrow agent, right? And that escrow agent holds the funds until the transaction is finalized or, um, you know, so with that being said, hopefully this part was clear. That's what the escrow is. And then the escrow agent can be a title company or an attorney. You can check out my video on um, the persons involved in a real estate transaction so you can see what the title company does, right? So what happens if you put $1,000 in and then the transaction, like the sale didn't go through and you want your $1,000 back and the seller's like, oh no, I want the $1,000, right? So what typically happens in instances like this is the title company or the escrow agent remains neutral, right? So the first thing they do is they're going to review the escrow agreement, right? They're going to look back at the agreement that's there to see how the funds are going to be released. And if that can't be agreed upon, then it goes through mediation or arbitration. These are not the only options, but they are, possible steps that could happen. Legal action could be taken, as well as you and the seller can be like, okay, we're just gonna figure this part out, and then we're not gonna move further. You're gonna go ahead and get your $1,000 back. I've never had an instance where this has happened to me. Typically, everything is clearly communicated. Um, the buyer understands, the seller understands, everything is clearly communicated, nothing is ambiguous. But in the event that something like that ever happens, it's handled, the title company remains neutral. And in that regard, they will, follow the steps based on the agreement, what was agreed upon. All right. So having escrow in your property after closing. So we just spoke about escrow while you're buying the property, right? Or while the property is in it's under contract, right? After you've purchased your property and you're finished with the purchasing, you've moved on, the seller have gotten their money, you've gotten the key, you're living in the property, and now you have a mortgage. There's escrow on a property after closing, and this is typically done by a lender. So having escrow in your property you bought refers to a financial arrangement in which a portion of your mortgage payments, so a part of your mortgage payments, are set aside by the lender, and then those go toward your property tax and homeowners insurance premium payments, right? So just so you have a clear understanding of that, once you're done with the sale transaction, the lender now must make sure they're the ones that take care of your property tax and your homeowner's insurance payments, and that's taken from your mortgage payments. So so what they're going to do is some lenders do, some don't. They take a portion of it and they put it in an escrow account, and that's set aside to make those payments so that the funds are available without you having to come up with all of it at once, right? So how it works, yeah, so it typically is just an arrangement, as I said before, where the funds are set aside and it covers the homeowner's insurance. How is it used? Why is it used? It's for convenience. It simplifies those payments over 12 months. It allows for timely payments, so your mortgage insurance and your property taxes are paid on time. And then it's typically a requirement for a lot of lenders, to require an escrow, especially if your down payment is less than 20%, right? Because it protects their investment in the property. All right. What happens after you paid off your mortgage? Then typically the escrow is closed, and then you are now responsible for paying your property taxes and your homeowner's insurance on time, right? So that is pretty much it for escrow. Hopefully this video was clear, and I will see you in another recording. All right. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and let me know. You can email me at sunshine, hospfl@gmail.com, or visit my website, soldbysunshine.com. All right. I'll see you in another recording.